Garbage, an Undertale x Bob's Burgers x King of the Hill fanfiction. I can really appreciate the title here. Honestly, that's the first thing I gotta say. It's just called Garbage. No, I agree. Another beautiful day to pimp sweet lady propane. Hank was talking to himself as he worked. Not really good at the Hank Hill voice. Apologies. It's not my best cartoon man voice, unfortunately. I can't do it like I can do my Peter Griffin. Oh man, Family Guy. So many funnies. With the monsters coming from the underground, it could only mean good things for business. There's a whole new group of people who had yet to experience the wonders of propane. Hank's in character, already love it. I mean, Undertale, Hank Hill staying in character, his love of propane still there, 100% appreciate, right fucking there. The first customer approaching the building was clearly human, though. His black hair was balding, possibly from age or stress, maybe both. Welcome to Strickland Propane. I'm Hank Hill. How can I help you? Hank gave him his best retail smile. Best retail smile. That hits me on a deeply personal level. Oh, my fucking God. Also, Hank Hill would not have a retail smile. He would have an absolute genuine smile. Already, Hank's out of character. I don't believe that he would ever be depressed while he's at work for his lovely lady Propane. Hey, I'm Bob. I'm having a beach barbecue to welcome some of the monsters to the surface. I can't do a fucking, I can't do a Bob from Bob's Burgers voice or a John H. Benjamin or H. John Benjamin voice either. He's one of those ones that I've tried to kind of get a voice for him, and I fucking can't do it. So apologies if this takes you out of it. I can't do Hank Hill or any of H. John Benjamin's voices. I know I'm a fuck up. Let's get back to the story though. Bob scratched his mustache. I was gonna go for charcoal, but they insisted on trying propane-cooked food. Good on them, I say. There's nothing better than propane. Hank puffed out his chest a bit. He was so proud of his second love, propane, his first love being his family. How many tanks are you looking to get? 4, please. If we don't use it all, I can always use it at my store. Bob got out his wallet and paid for the tanks. You own a restaurant? Hank raised an eyebrow. He started bringing Bob to the tanks stored outside. Yeah, it's Bob's Burgers. Bob followed behind. Hank's in Texas. Bob is in some kind of coastal city. This is very, very far away. I assume that the cartoon world has kind of been crunched up like the back page of a Mad magazine. If you don't know what I mean by that, back in the day in the Mad magazine, there were these pages, and when you scrunched them together, it created a different image. It would be like an image, and then when you scrunched the page together, it would create a different image, kind of lampooning the first image in a way. There you go. You learn something. The more you know, I guess. Heh, maybe I'll have to try it sometime. Hank started to help load the tanks into Bob's car. Why don't you come on down for some barbecue and try some? That sounds swell. I'll be there. Hank waved to the man as he drove off.
I hope these people are nice, Dad.
Bobby spoke as they walked along the beach to the event. If they're anything like Bob, I'm sure they're fine folk. Hank responded to his son as they approached the event. It was a simple setup. There were a few picnic tables set up next to the barbecues. Bob was already grilling, stopping to wave as he saw Hank approach. Hey, I'm glad you can make it. Glad to be here. I don't believe you've met the missus yet.
Peggy Hill. Nice to meet you.
Peggy gave Bob a polite smile. And here's our son. Hank went to motion towards Bobby, but he was nowhere to be seen. Now, where's that boy gone off to? I don't know who's talking here. I think he's over with the other kids. Sure enough, he was already talking with the others. Huh, well, at least he's made friends. My kids are a bit of a handful, but that Frisk seems like a good kid. There was a young, is that Bob? Who the fuck knows? There was a young person with his striped shirt. Must have been Frisk. Bob's kids were easy to spot out due to the family resemblance. As they were talking, a woman in a red shirt came over from one of the tables.
What you talking about over here?
Just chatting with some new friends. This is my wife, Linda. Linda, Hank, and Peggy Hill.
Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Peggy, you gotta come talk knitting with me and Tori.
I'm sorry, I know this is made to be absurd. The writer has clearly stated in the description that they were asked to write this by a friend, but I just, something about King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers and Undertale. I don't think anything can save it, even irony. Even any sense of irony can save this fit. It just, At least it's not sexual. At least it's not sexual. At least it's not sexual. It's not sexual. It's not sexual. It's not sexual. If I keep telling myself that over and over again, I feel a little bit better about reading this. Lead the way. Peggy followed Linda over to the table where a large goat woman was sitting. Hank could only assume that was Tori. Bob, will the food be ready soon? A large goat man approached the two. Soon, Asgore. I don't think I can. Like I can't even. It's too. Undertale and Bob's Burgers and King of the Hill, it's too different. I can't even imagine it in my head, and I have a pretty alright imagination. I can't physically see it. It's like someone's taking an MS Paint drawing of Asgore and they're trying to slam it into a picture with Bob and Hank Hill. Those two I can see together somehow, but just Undertale is the thing that really is just... Undertale! Bob flipped a few burgers over. This is Hank. He's the guy I got the propane from. Asgore Dreamer. He held out his hand. Hank Hill. Shaking hands, the two smiled at each other. Would you like some tea? Asgore motioned to a table with a teapot and cups on it. No thanks. Not much of a tea drinker. Fair enough. Asgore was cut off by a man in a flaming shirt. Hey, it's me, Guy Fieri. Wait. Wait a second. Was I not paying? Let me go up really quick. No, Guy Fieri is right in the description there. I can't. Diners, drive-ins, and Undertale. I don't even think the Guy Fieri thing is funny anymore, and the absurdity of this is very almost enjoyable. I'm not having a bad time here, you know. They're not having a big old sex pile, so I think this is getting a pass from me at the end here. Hey, it's me, Guy Fieri. I can smell that sweet BBQ sauce from miles away. Guy seemed to appear out of thin air, like a deity. Oh my God. Bob's excitement was evident. Do you know this man, Bob? Asgore questioned. He's Guy Fieri. He does a show called Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It's so nice to meet you, Mr. Fieri. Please call me Guy. Mr. Fieri is my father's name. Do you mind if I try one of your burgers? Of course, I'd be honored. Bob went to work setting up a burger. Hey, do you want anything to put on it? No, thanks. I need to go to Flavortown right now. The burger brought a single tear to Guy's face. Are you okay, Guy? I can't, Hank Hill. Are you okay, Guy? I can't do a fucking Hank Hill voice at all. I can't. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I can't do a Hank Hill. Hank spoke up, worried about the man. Do you have a restaurant, Bob? I need to do an episode on it if you do. Guy wiped the tear from his face. I do, actually. It's called Bob's Burgers. I'll go talk to my agent right now about getting it on air. Don't go anywhere. Guy left to call his agent. Well, that was something, Asgore said with a puzzled expression. I can't believe I'm going to be on TV. There were stars in Bob's eyes. This would be great exposure for the restaurant. Hank interrupted his daydreaming. If the burgers are done, do you mind if we chow down? If the burgers are done, do you mind if we chow down? Yeah, I can't do it. Fuck. I'm more distracted by the fact that I can't even attempt a Hank Hill voice at all. That really peeves me. Of course, help yourselves. Bob started plating the other burgers. The kids and other monsters came over to grab their meals. Once he made sure everyone had their burger done to their liking, Bob did up his own. He took a seat with Asgore and Hank once he was finished. These are as good as you said, Bob. He's just fucking like a goat, I guess. Hank complimented the chef. I'll definitely have to stop by your restaurant. Asgore was too busy chowing down to say anything. Thanks, I'm glad people are enjoying them, Bob said with a smile from ear to ear on his face. Everyone was enjoying their meal and getting to know each other. Things were looking good for human-monster relationships, even if this was a small event. It was evidence that humans and monsters could get along. All right, first off, the absurdity of this whole fucking thing, how just almost normal it is, just a bunch of fucking people getting together to enjoy burgers. This is a wholesome fanfiction. I'm not even a fan of Undertale, but I can already tell you that this fanfiction gets 10 fucking wholesome points from me. I'm gonna give this thing a straight up 7 out of 10, the highest serious rating I've ever given a fanfiction. Even if it is garbage, it's I really enjoyed Guy Fieri appearing out of nowhere, and I didn't even read the description up top, so I didn't even know he was going to be in this story before I started reading it. And I'm very I'm very happy with that. The only thing I'm sad about is I can't do a Hank Hill voice. Fuck me, right? Just fucking cut my throat and let the blood drain into a bathtub and fucking wash yourself in my goddamn bone juice. Anyway, bye. Thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos. There are also things, and if you want to see more fan fiction, I'll have a playlist here with a lot of like fan fiction one-offs and whatnot. I also have a Patreon because that helps me, and I'm a very poor boy. And you can subscribe if you enjoyed me reading. Can you really call it reading? I kind of just bitched about me not being able to do a Hank Hill voice, and I'm still very upset about that. But you can subscribe if you like hearing a deep voice guy read garbage. All right, I'm gonna, go do that thing I talked about earlier. Fucking bathtub blood.